Hey, family, welcome to another episode of Transformed and Renewed. I am your coach, Jerry Thomas, and we are next to the last episode of the year. Okay. And wanted to give you a brief one today. Been busy, as I'm sure a lot of you are at the end of the year. But like I said, I did have some big news, part one, because I can't share everything in this one just because I want to make sure that you tune into the next one. And if this is your first time, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So I got a quick one today. When it comes down to holiday eating cravings, do you struggle with that? Because I'm sure a lot of you see a lot of food, cookies, holiday treats. Hey, do you want some of this? Or hey, we got some sweets, some desserts. And you find yourself debating, should I really eat this? One won't hurt. But you realize that after you ate one, you are on this course where you just cannot stop eating the sweets. It could even be some savory foods. And so, what do you really do? And I think another question that you could ask is, where are some of the struggle points for you? For some people, it could be sweets, donuts, scones, pastries, you name it, anything with a little icing on it, a little glaze. It don't really take much for you to give in. And then when it comes down to some other foods, could be a lot of savory foods. So if you think about meats, a lot of a lot of good salts, a lot of seasonings. You think about dishes that have heavy carbs, cheese, yes. And trust me, you're not talking to anyone who is naive of a lot of these foods. But I can tell you that if you do have some health goals, it is important to really understand where are some of these trigger points, okay? Because for me, I had to identify that for myself, understanding what do I struggle with. And so hopefully when you really think about it, it is actually easier. Again, once you do have a plan in place, I'm not saying that it for everyone is easy because a lot of people really do struggle. And so I'm not saying that it's easy struggling. It can get very easy when we think about uh, just being able to know how to deal with those cravings because sometimes you can walk into a place and they just hit you with the food like, hey, would you like some? And you're trying to process, what should I really do? I just committed to trying to eat healthier, and now I'm being presented with a food that I know I really would like to try because it looks mighty delicious, if I could say. But then you also thinking, well, if I give in, then does that really mean that I'm doing what I need to do? And so one thing I would say is you always want to again know what your trigger points are and then just make a plan. Say no, nope, nope, nope. And you may feel like, well, what if other people are around and I may feel awkward? You can feel awkward. Trust me, I've been there where I just had to say, no, we're not going to do it right now or even today. Maybe another opportunity, but because I have some goals in mind and I pretty made up my mind, I'm just going to say no. Now, does your body struggle? Oh, yes. The flesh wants to get what it wants. And trust me, this is nothing, again, that I have not dealt with because I have dealt with this. But when you think about it, when you start to not give your body what you want, you really start to build on willpower discipline. Now, I'm not saying that once you do it, you will be free from all other temptations. Temptations are real. Trust me. You could be straight one day and then the next day, or even it could be some years later. And you're like, you know what? I've been doing this for a while. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm weak right now. Like I see these fries and they are just making me do something. And it's just your body, okay? But again, when it comes down to cravings, some of the things we have to really think about are, what are my goals? And am I really willing to do what I need to do to accomplish them? Okay. And so that's kind of one thing I would share when it comes down to how to deal with cravings during the holidays. Trust me, there are going to be a lot of foods, and I'm sure you've been presented with a lot of them. But one thing I want you to know is it's nothing wrong with one. But again, if you do have some health goals, it is important to keep in mind like, hey, have I really been eating well up until this point? And what is stopping me from saying no? Okay. What are some alternatives? Okay. So if there are cookies or there's something being served, can I make a request if I already know that food is going to be presented in advance? Can I make a request and say, no, don't really want it? Do you have something else that I could enjoy so that I'm not, left out? Okay. So there are alternatives. Even eating in advance, that's another strategy, and that's one that I have done. And so these are a couple, but one thing I don't want you to do is feel like you can enjoy the holidays with family. But again, it's important to keep some of these strategies in mind and really start to implement them. I didn't want to give you a ton of task items because I know that it can get overwhelming with trying to remember every little thing when it comes to, okay, what should I do when it comes to cravings? Well, again, one thing that you can at least do if you get every other thing is know what are my trigger points, and then writing that down, and then saying, what have I done to implement some strategies to where if everyone else is eating sweets and I really don't want to eat sweets, what am I going to do instead? Am I going to eat something prior? Am I just going to say no and then eat something later that's healthier, like some fruit? Or if it's like a very savory, excuse me, and healthy meal or heavy meal, it could be anything involving a lot of cheese, refined carbs, it could even be a lot of savory meats, no vegetables. What am I going to do? Okay. When it comes down to all of these holiday foods. And I got goals because I don't want to go another year struggling. Okay. Struggling. Okay. And so, what do you really do? And again, it starts with some simple practices. Understanding, okay, again, what are my trigger points? Because everyone has a different trigger points. Some people struggle with sweets, some people struggle with a little bit of every category. Okay, it doesn't really take much. The food is looking sexy, they're gonna eat it. Okay, and so hope that you enjoyed these tips, and again, I hope that these can help give you some encouragement and confidence as you are approaching the holidays with your family. And just to get to the big news, or part of the big news is that I have officially a while back actually been certified as a holistic health coach, which means that we are going to begin to do some coaching sessions. And so we're going to be releasing the schedule soon. So that is part of the big news. The other part, you got to wait till next week to tune in. But that is part one of it, is that we are going to be doing some coaching sessions or consulting sessions, but we are really going to hit the rubber to the road. Okay. And I know that it's been a long time coming, and this has been the news that I have been raving about throughout this year. And so, hopefully, once we really get the schedule ready and rolling out, you will be the first to know, and that way you can sign up, be on the wait list until we officially release it. And so, once you do, you'll be able to again sign up, go through the prompts. We'll get you set up if you are interested in some coaching or counseling or consulting sessions. So many C's when it comes to the sessions, but we're going to be releasing that soon. So this is an opportunity that I can really work one on one with you and really help you with your goals, and really understand, some of the things that you are dealing with. Because I see a lot, but it is also good to understand what are you dealing with. And so that is part of the news. And so make sure you tune into next Thursday to get the other part of the news. So hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, before you log off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Yes, make sure you do that right now and subscribe to our channel at Robody 1212. Well, listen, family, I thank you for supporting us. Listen, we have been growing in terms of followers, not that I really follow followers and fans, but it is a testament of what we have been doing and what you have been doing, which is supporting. So I thank you for supporting us, and I want you to know that as much as I can, I always want to give you good value, great value at that. And I also want you to know that when you come here to Robody, you're gonna get the best. And so that's what we strive to do, and we're gonna continue to do it until, Lord willing, He calls me home. So until then, we are just gonna keep serving and giving you the best value. And until next Thursday, make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you keep this news replayed, okay? Because you don't want to forget part two next week, okay? I'll talk with you later, family. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.